All right.
How you doing?
All right.
How are you? I'm John Michael with Harlem Stage. It's my pleasure to meet you.
Who are you, John?
Nice to meet you.
Man,
So we've got a couple of chairs set up in the front of this room, and I'd like to put you in the order that you're going to go in because it's kind of a narrow way to get in. That's the order you'll sit in. Is that okay?
Sure.
So Stefan. Stefan? Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So Robert here, is that right? Robert's here. Okay. Pete will be here in a moment. Stefan? Hi, I'm John Michael. We're going to ask you to come into the room first, so if you'll hang right here for me. So AYERS, you're going to go after Pete. And then Chris.
You've been working hard. That's right. I know we're moving all over the country, all over the world. Man. I'm supposed to catch up and do something with you one day, but I don't know if they worked it out. But
Gentlemen, you would let Rodney know first. Thank you, guys.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, my name is Brad Learmonth. I'm the Director of Programming here at Harlem Stage. And I want to welcome you to this incredible evening, this tribute to Maestro Roy Ayers. Before I introduce you to the brains behind this wonderful evening, I just want to tell you a little bit about us. We've been doing this for about 30 years, and we created Uptown Nights at Harlem Stage to continue a legacy that we really started in the beginning of the 90s, which was to celebrate the artistic legacy of Harlem and to present some of the most amazing young artists, along with the master artists, the very emerging artists of the community and of the genres. So we started this last September, and it has grown to be an amazing success. It's a sellout every time now, and we're just going to continue doing it. So we appreciate your support and being here. We follow this next month with an Afropop night starring Wumi and a musician named Cuckoo from DC or Philly, I can't remember. And then at the end of June, a band of Harlem, which is going to be another amazing night with Pedro Martinez and Osmani Paredes. And then next fall, we're going to be doing some great stuff. So keep an eye out for that. And one of the other things that we like to do with this is to work with amazing young producers and curators who put together fabulous, fabulous events like this. And if one thinks that jazz is a music that does not attract people under 30, she's here to change that. Yeah. So it is we're transforming the music, but it's bringing audiences to both, straight ahead jazz, but also what jazz is morphing into, or what the music in its entirety is morphing into. So please, Megan Stabile, Revive Music Group, is going to introduce the artist.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm the founder of Revive Alive, Revive Music Group, and basically we're very much about educating audiences through live shows, and this being very educational. But it's bringing together ideas, creative concepts, creative collaborations, and inspiring different generations about the depths of our music. One being jazz and the relevancy it has today in modern music. So that's why we do what we do. And I'd like to introduce tonight fabulous Roy Ayers. And Pete Rock. All the way to the left is Stefan Harris. Coming back this way, Derek Hodge. Chris Dave. And Casey Benjamin. I just want to add, Robert GLASPER is on the way.
So we'd like to open it up for questions to, if you wouldn't mind, just raising a hand, and we'll point to you, and you can ask a question to one of the folks on the panel. Yeah.
Hi, well, first of all, thank you for being here. It's such an honor to be in all of you guys' presence, but this is directed to Mr. Ayers. What was your initial response when hearing about the concept of the show and being asked to, be
Well, my first response was, this is wonderful, I'm going to get another award. Because I've gotten a lot of keys to cities and awards and presentations over the years. I don't get them all the time, but I get them, I guess I've gotten about 40 or 50 of them in my lifetime. I'm 69 years old, so, and I'm just glad to be here on the planet, because it's hard to live to 60s to 70, it's hard to do that for us, so I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that I'm getting an award. Next. Please.
In the spirit of the whole Revive the Live music series, if you could put together your own Revive the Live time capsule, or if you will, what would go inside of it? What would you put inside?
I would like to probably, just off the top of my head, I would probably get a bunch of vibes, like vibists, like Stefan and Bobby Hutcherson, and a couple others, Dave Pike, I know several of them, and get together and have a vibe session with the rhythm section. I've always wanted to do that. I tried to do it with Lionel Hampton, but he died, and I didn't get to do that. But I did play with Bill Jackson for Lionel Hampton at the Kennedy Center. But that's what I would like to do.
Same question for anyone who would like to take it.
Well, I just say that 4 years just wants to beat up on all those wives. Get us in a room and take care of business.
All right. Pete, what would go in yours?
Oh man, a bunch of live musicians and hip hop producers. You know what I'm saying? And because we have a sound that we take from people like Roy and make it our own. And I'm just glad to be a part of this. It's an incredible honor. I'm a huge fan. And I'm just gonna show him how we did it and how much it appreciated, how much we appreciated what he done.
Pete, you were kind of instrumental along with Ali, Shaheed Muhammad, and I guess some other producers back in the late 80s and 90s at resuscitating jazz musicians, bringing them to the forefront. And I guess I want to pigeonhole the back end of the next question I'm going to ask you. Guru brought it also out, also along with Primo. What are we going to have to do now, especially as you as a producer and you, Stefan, as a musician, to keep the younger generation interested in jazz music? Because I never heard of Ron Carter until really listening to my grandfather's music, but also through bugging out through Tribe Called Quest. And we're in 2010, and we have a lot of kids who don't have no idea of what jazz music is.
I think it's important to do shows like this to actually show the young youth, you know what I mean, what the music meant and where it's going, and how much it's appreciated, and it definitely has to be good music. You know what I mean? If you're a hip hop producer, you definitely gotta show ways of talent and get the young people interested in what you're doing, and that'll keep them tuned in to want to know what's next.
Yeah, from my perspective, I have total confidence in the music itself. I'm not afraid of music going down. I really think that art is ultimately about the connection between the artist and the audience. And sometimes we get caught up in the genre itself and the differences. But really, when you look at what jazz has always embodied spontaneity. It's always embodied creativity. It's always been a music that is of the time. And I think the thing that we're struggling with right now in our field is the perception of what jazz is. See, if we can have some control over the way people see our music, we can change things. And shows like this do that. They put great artists like AYERS and Pete Rock in the room together and show that they're coming from the same place. They're telling the same stories, just through different sets of eyes.
I think it's also about being honest to what you like. You know, it's about, you know, you take the tools. You can't necessarily tell somebody that grew up only listening the hip hop and not knowing the history behind the samples and all the people that did that research. You can't just tell them about jazz and say, okay, this is the history, it's rich, love it. You know, you just got to be honest to yourself. Hopefully something that you do is relevant to them and they're going to grab onto it, you know, but you have to be honest. And hopefully, you know, by exposure, if they want to be like the artist that they're listening to, they're going to listen to you more. They're going to want to say, oh, okay, you said listen to Ron Carter. They're going to listen, you know what I mean? It's just about being honest and still trying to build up the tools. There are a lot of young people on the scene that people don't know about that, know about the history, you know, that just may not have the opportunity to get the music exposed, you know, because they're living in a situation where they have to play a certain type of music, sometimes in jazz, just to get exposed. But I say just be yourself, you know, it's everybody up here has, you know, been themselves in their career, and fortunately, you know, we're in a place answering these types of questions. I say it's not about trying to make it survive, just be honest to it, continue to study the lineage, and hopefully people, if they want to, if something in what you're doing, you know, they grab onto, then it becomes our responsibility to expose them to it. Mary, it's up to them.
For the experiment, obviously, everybody is aware that you're influenced by, you know, the greats, Roy Ayers, Fred Hubbard, Lionel. Who are the new musicians that, let's say, the broader world or just the broader scene might not know about that influences you based upon who you've worked with that, you know, like you said, are doing their thing but aren't necessarily having, you know, well, you know, exposure in music and things have changed so much in today's mainstream that, you know, it's always hard for someone to say, you know, this person is dope, this person is dope, but who's out there right now that's making you go, wow, and that you want to work with in your own domain? And Roy, if you have someone too, that'd be great, but it's always good to, you know, hear these things. Experiment? All y'all? Everybody? Chris? Casey? Everybody? Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah. We can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Speak up,
We
please.
can't hear you, I'm sorry.
I was asking him.
You can say each other now.
Before I do things, I just kind of, I guess we've been dealing with our stuff a lot, so.
And we're all old heads, so I mean,
Yeah, so as far as asking who we've worked with, I guess in the past two years, I'm kind of good on that.